I have over 100 platinum trophies, and in the last video we got the platinum trophy in LEGO Batman 2. So today we're going to be getting the platinum trophy in LEGO Batman 3 has a total of 71 trophies, including the Platinum and the 6 DLC packs. Now, like all LEGO games, this Platinum is going to involve us completing every single level, completing a few miscellaneous quests throughout the various levels, and of course finding all the collectibles and getting 100% in the game. Oh, and I am going to be getting this done on the PS3, RIP to my wallet. So the story picks up where we meet Brainiac, who has captured the 6 Lantern Corps superheroes, and he is now on his way to Earth to capture the last one. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Batman and Robin are chasing Killer Croc through the underground sewers. Oh, here he is. Now, like all games, the first level serves as an introduction, and I'm not gonna lie, the updates from LEGO Batman 2 to LEGO Batman 3 are actually pretty good. Little hints are scattered throughout the level. Clearly the developers think that we're getting dumber, and instead of needing to make a suit every single time we go into a level, we now have access to the suit wheel, which allows us to change whenever we want to. Anyway, we eventually corner Killer Croc, however he escapes and Robin nearly dies in the process. And then this was the end of the first level, and we popped our very first trophy of the playthrough.
Go Batman. I'm gonna go and lock back in with Dark Knight and trade Batman. Easy Daisy. Pursuers in the sewers.
Batman and Robin then return to the Batcave, and here we get our first sighting of Brainiac's ship. Now, while looking at the spaceship, Batman gets brainwashed and he begins destroying everything in the Batcave. Robin and Alfred attempt to stop him, but after destroying everything, Batman then turns into a giant bat. Eventually though, we snap Batman out of his trance, and the group are left wondering who was controlling Batman's mind. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor, dressed up as Hawkman, sneaks into the Hall of Justice and lets all of the other villains in.
Breaking bats.
Batman and Robin then relay the message to Martian Manhunter, however when he attempts to scan the ship, the comm link to Earth malfunctions. Together, Martian Manhunter and Green Lantern fix the watchtower, however it is all too late as the villains have managed to make their way aboard. A distress call is sent out to all Justice Leaguers, and when all hope seems lost, Superman and the rest of the Justice Leaguers show up in time to save the superheroes.
Ah, Superman!
You sure took your time. Sorry, the waiter took a while to bring the check.
Space suit shoes, sir.
So we then successfully board the watchtower, and we have to take out each villain. So we take out Firefly, Cheetah, Solomon Grundy and Killer Croc. And then finally, Batman and Superman confront Lex and the Joker, and of course, we win.
Space station infestation.
With all the villains accounted for, we then finally meet Brainiac. Brainiac tells us that he has been collecting cities, however now he wants to upgrade his collections to worlds, and he has Earth in his sights. And he's also managed to brainwash Green Lantern. So while the group attempts to stop the Green Lantern from destroying the watchtower, the delay means that Brainiac can begin shrinking the Earth, and now we have to stop him. So with our grapple hooks, we then grab onto Brainiac's ship, however it is all a little bit too late. Brainiac is shrinking Earth, and so the villains and the heroes race on board his ship and try to stop him. Brainiac attempts to use his mind control to take control of all of the heroes and villains, however it doesn't work on Robin and his plan is foiled. Instead, he decides to capture everyone, and Batman manages to get away, and here we have our boss fight with Brainiac. We defeat Brainiac and stop him from shrinking Earth any further, however he escapes in a pod.
Earth.
After escaping though, all of the Lantern Corps members are freed from their trance and return back to their planets.
The Lantern Menace.
Brainiac's ship crash lands on Earth, and here he decides to take all of the cities. Brainiac succeeds in shrinking several of the major cities on Earth, however after defeating him he then turns his attention to Gotham.
Style LEGO games. I'm really keen to see how number 4's evolved. You're against it.
And so the final assault on Gotham begins, and together the heroes and villains need to stop Brainiac. Of course, the group is successful, and we stop Brainiac and then imprison him and stop him from shrinking the rest of Earth.
On the top where the blue thing's my bad wrong thing, don't stress, Keyville. Big trouble in Little Gotham.
With Brainiac defeated, there's just one problem. All the cities are still shrunk and the crew have no idea how to return them back to normal size. The idea the group comes up with is to reunite all of the 6 Lantern Corps members and get them to put their beam together, which will then result in returning the cities back to normal size. So Batman and his crew set off, and we have to go to 6 separate planets to find the 6 Lantern crew members. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is where my interest in the story really started to wane. These planets where we had to go and find the Lantern Corps members were pretty cool and stuff, but like honestly, we didn't really do much. We just went in there, found them, and left. It kind of just felt like 6 levels mashed together with not real progression in the story or anything that was just interesting. It was honestly super repetitive, and all they did was slap 6 different skins on 6 different levels, but we got 6 trophies from them.
Power of love. A blue hope. Hey, did you look? All the rage. Need for greed. Awkward situation.
And then to make it even more just a little bit odd, we were up to the very last mission of the game. So all the Lantern Corps members got together, and after combining their beams, the cities returned to normal size. Oh, and Earth also returned to normal size. However, in the process of doing this, Brainiac escaped, and then he brainwashed Superman. So together the group then returned Superman back to normal and finally took out Brainiac for good. So with Brainiac accounted for, the villains were then sent back to Arkham Asylum, and this marked the end of the game. And I honestly thought that this was just a bit of a weird ending. The story just kind of finished and that was it. Compared to the story of Lego Batman 2 with the Joker, I felt like this just kind of was a bit of a letdown. But we did pop 2 trophies in the final level.
True hero. Okay. Breaking the ice.
So even though the story is now completed, we aren't even close to being done with this platinum. I had only completed 19.6% of the entire game, and of course we need to get this to 100%, and this is where the grind really started. So to start with, I had to go back and replay every single level. Yeah, that's right. Just after completing the story, you now have to go back and replay every single level again to get all of the collectibles. Now, just like in Lego Batman 2, we have a whole heap of gold bricks, red bricks, mini kits, and character tokens to collect. Now, I'm not going to bore you with any of the footage of this, as unfortunately you don't get to pop any trophies. But with all the levels completed, I then finished off the bonus level to 100%.
What's going on? Why we haven't popped? There we go. Same bat time, same bat channel.
And then after collecting all of the red bricks, I turned all of the extras on at the same time, which also popped us another trophy.
Under the red brick.
Now, unfortunately, that isn't the end of our level playthrough. Remember how I said there's 71 trophies in this game? Well, 30 of them are tied to 6 DLC packs. And because I'm obsessed with getting my PlayStation completion percentage as high as possible, I decided to play this game on the PS3, and yeah, Sony are charging $23 for this DLC pack. Meanwhile, the DLC is actually free if you play the PS4 version of this game. Now, luckily, these levels only take 20 minutes to complete, but for some reason they were more confusing than the main game.
Who am I trying to take out? Where is this boss? Bro, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? It says there's a boss lady. Where is the boss lady? I can't even see her. Bro, these DLC levels are confusing as f***.
But anyway, we had to get back on the grind, and then we popped a whole heap of trophies. So for completing the level and getting true hero status, you would get 2 trophies.
It's not an S. Nice suit, son.
And then with the level completed, you then had access to replay it in free play mode. And so the other 3 trophies in the mission were related to collecting all of the mini kits.
An ideal to strive towards.
But then also completing 2 other miscellaneous objectives. Now, for most of these levels, it was picking 2 specific characters to play as. So for example, in the Superman level, we had to set both free play characters as General Zod and Superman.
There we go. I will find him.
And then the last trophy for the level was either character related or you needed to complete a specific puzzle with a certain character. So again, in this Superman level, it was playing as Crypto.
Crypto, come home. There we go.
And so with the Superman level done, I now had to go through and do this for the next 5 levels. So I won't bore you with the exact details of the trophies as they are pretty straightforward. Instead, enjoy 25 trophies popping in a row.
Task Force Expert.
So with the DLC completed, I now had to turn my attention to completing all of the hub worlds in the game. And as you can tell, I was pretty enthusiastic about it.
I have 10 of these hub worlds to do, and I cannot be bothered doing them at all.
Yeah, this part of the Platinum journey was probably the biggest grind and honestly probably ruined my experience with this game. Each hub world had the same 10 to 12 missions to do and basically pointless dialogue which added no service to the story or the game at all. It honestly just felt like the developers put all of this stuff in just to make the Platinum trophy more of a grind, but also to make you play the game slightly a bit longer. So yeah, like I said, nothing really interesting happened except for us getting all of the gold bricks and the character tokens to finish off the 100% completion required to get the Platinum trophy. I did manage to pop 3 trophies during this stage of our playthrough, however they were purely incidental.
Shazam. I have no idea what that's for. One small step for Batman. By the amount of stuff you have to do. Knock, knock. I have no idea what that trophy is, but we've got a trophy. Donut Discoverer. Okay.
So with the hub worlds completed, I honestly thought this journey was now over. Nope, in typical LEGO Batman 3 style, we had these VR missions to complete. Again, these just felt completely pointless and served absolutely no purpose other than getting some collectibles and some golden bricks, but hey, what can you do? And so after completing all of these VR missions, I then had finally finished the game to 100%. And so now it was time to begin popping all of the trophies to again get our Platinum. So the first 8 trophies that we popped were just related to playing as certain characters in the game. And so then the remaining trophies were just little innocuous things that we had to do throughout the game. And the very first trophy that we got was for bouncing up and down 50 times on a bouncy object.
There we go. Everyone loves bouncing, sorry.
I then created my very first custom character.
Mirror, mirror.
Glided around for 10 seconds as Batman.
There we go. Glide on time.
Played as the Riddler in the Batcave and then destroyed the hidden Riddler trophy.
Intruder alert, intruder alert. Now that's impressive.
Found a gang of jumping cows on the moon.
Hey diddle diddle.
Visited all of the hub planets in one sitting.
One giant leap for Batmankind. Okay, I didn't even need to do it.
And then finally, I completed any hub race as Green Lantern.
Luton Space Race.
Now the last 2 trophies are basically always popped together, and here you find the green room.
The green room.
And then when the game is completed to 100%, a lever appears in this room, and after you pull it, a stud fountain occurs, and this pops you your very last trophy of the game and the Platinum.
That's all, folks. World's finest.
So with LEGO Batman 3 finished, I'm not gonna lie, this game was nowhere near as fun as LEGO Batman 2. The grind and just all of the little things that you needed to do served no purpose and just felt like they were whacked into the game to get people to play it for longer. As always guys, if you could please hit that like and leave a comment down below and subscribe if you haven't. Let me know in the comments what LEGO game you'd like to see me Platinum next.